Disruptors. They rock our world. They move us forward, shake things up, make life better for everyone. It's the new norm. Accept it. Embrace it. Celebrate it. And yes, ask for more of it. Become the disruptor, not the disrupted.
So, our next speaker was recently named the most influential woman in MarTech by B2B Marketing. She was also recognized by the Entrepreneur magazine as one of the top 10 online marketers to watch. And she was featured multiple times in Forbes magazine for her pioneering marketing strategies on social media. She's also the CEO and owner of Tholium, a global social media marketing and analytics. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage Tamara McCleary.
Thank you. Wow, it has not been that long since we talked about artificial intelligence in ways that were always projected into the future, right? Future opportunities, future innovation. But right now, we are living into the very fabric of future today. And that's what's really exciting to me when we talk about supply chain and procurement. AI is here, it's everywhere, it's woven into the very fabric of our human existence. You know, if you think about the future, we have our purchases coming into us through AI. We have AI suggesting where we next might want to purchase. We have AI even suggesting who our next romantic best partner would be. Right? So AI is everywhere. And who doesn't have their own personal AI device in their pocket or bag here today? So here we are in the future. It's everywhere. So why shouldn't it be right now as we talk about supply chain and procurement? And in this discussion, I'm really excited to bring on stage with me Kathy Hinton. Kathy is the former VP of Supply Chain Management at Tesoro, which is now Marathon Oil. Kathy is bringing a practitioner's perspective because she is currently running Agilitology, a supply chain consulting company. And what you may not also know about Kathy is that, come on out, Kathy, she is our subject matter expert in swing dance. Please welcome Kathy Hinton. Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you very much.
To get this jump started, I wanted to throw a couple of quick fire questions at you. Are you game?
Sure, why not?
All right, so the first thing I wanted to ask you is name a key trend in procurement and supply chain.
Machine learning.
All right, name an attribute of a true leader.
Servant leadership has to be it.
I knew you were going to say that because we talked a lot about the human aspect to this entire transformation process. So what's the value of partners?
Partners have a vested interest in each other's success. Success in supply chain really relies on your ability to build external partnerships.
And then trust in tech, do you think people have it?
It depends. I think there are a lot of people that don't.
And then this is a nice polarizing one. AI, friend or foe?
Yes.
That was a trick answer, right?
It was.
That is definitely a polarizing topic, and we could go all day on that one alone.
We could.
What's the biggest issue that you see currently and hear from your customers?
How to innovate while ensuring the day-to-day business can run and can run effectively in a time when you're innovating something that might be disruptive.
That's true. It's like changing the tire on a moving vehicle that we've all heard about. That's the digital transformation process.
It is.
So innovation to me, I think it's an interesting question because I think a lot of times that we hear innovation when what they really meant was iteration. To me, innovation is something that takes risk And the reason it takes risk is when we talk about disruption and innovation, you're actually doing things totally differently than you have a past representation to follow on, whereas iteration's a little easier in that you're continually making better on your process. So innovation, I think, takes a great amount of risk.
So what do you think some of the pain points are for innovation in industry?
Well, you know, and it's interesting because that's exactly what I was going to ask you. What do you think it is?
Well, I think that there's all sorts of external forces that stop you from being innovative or perceived to stop you from being innovative. And there's big challenges day in and day out with those forces. At the same time, when I talk to people, the most difficult thing they always say are the internal issues in their company. They're related to people. How do you gain consensus? How do you build C-suite support for the supply chain function and their initiatives? And how do you get the money? How do you convince them that there's a business case to fund these initiatives and help people through change? There's a lot of resistance to change. And in order to become successful, you have to overcome that resistance. So AI is the buzzword of the year. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, I think we can all agree. How many of you have been to another conference where you're talking about artificial intelligence, right? Let the record show a resounding yes. And it's true because almost every day we hear of innovative ways that AI is transforming the business practice. But what does this have to do and where does it leave procurement? And I think this is our conversation here today. If your procurement organization is ready for digital, it's ready for artificial intelligence. And it's no buzzword when we're talking about, you know, IoT asset tracking, big data benchmarking, supplier risk identification, AI chatbots supporting sourcing, spend classification with machine learning. I mean, unreliable spend data remains the greatest challenge for many procurement organizations. Machine learning, spend classification is already advancing the long tail spend management.
Amen to that.
Wait, we just do a big high five on that one.
Amen to that. So what about the challenges of AI and disruptive technologies?
Well, you know, besides the obvious, you know, security implications, data privacy issues and considerations, there's catastrophic issues and system-wide failure if the tech is, you know, implemented prematurely. You mentioned the people aspect, which is absolutely critical, because if it's implemented prior to human workers properly being educated and understanding, you can have a huge fallout. A strong data foundation is absolutely mission critical for machine learning because we know machine learning absolutely craves and eats data. So you have to have that strong data foundation. And then integration issues, right? So integration issues are huge. You need your CRM, your ERP, and financial systems fully integrated in order to access all the data required to make those strategic decisions. So how do you address this? How do you address these technological challenges around innovative technologies with your customers?
Well, within supply chain management, you have to foster and reward innovation. You have to allow your people to take risks because true innovation, as Tamara said, is taking those chances, taking that leap forward. So you have to reward people and encourage innovation. You have to work with your suppliers to help them adopt Ariba and Fieldglass. You can't just leave them on their own and throw out a memo to them saying, we're going live today. They're integral to your success, and your people are integral to that success as well. The messaging they deliver internally in the company to your business stakeholders is extremely important. If they're all walking around grumbling, it'll be a difficult day. So on the positive side, I think people are extremely important, even though AI may feel threatening to their jobs. This is a great opportunity.
Well, you know, it's that intelligent enterprise really is the machine-human partnership. And right now, it is really at the human at the spoke of the wheel. Kathy, I was wondering if you could also just give us a very tangible example of how to integrate innovation into the supply chain.
Sure. Well, one way I've done it in the past is to ensure that in the quarterly business reviews that you're holding with your suppliers, and the scorecards you're delivering to them, that you include an element of innovation into that scorecard. You actually evaluate supplier performance on all of the usual factors, but also on their ability to bring innovative ideas to you, which are implementable, and your ability to share them back with them so that you can improve one another over time. So it's been a very effective tool at creating something that's measurable as a measurable outcome of innovation.
Absolutely.
So,
oh, and with that
Big round of applause for Tamara and Kathy. It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I have one more question for both of you.
Wait,
talk
about... Was this extra question in our contract?
I don't know.
So we talked about disruption. How can disruption help the world spend better?
Well, you know, I think absolutely, from identifying new markets, tracking exchange rate volatility, to managing risk and identifying the best suppliers, I think we can spend better using artificial intelligence to leverage big data, to streamline processes and improve decision making. I mean, AI is right there at the helm of advanced strategic planning and sourcing.
Kathy?
Well, that's a great segue, because it very much is, but it's still somewhat of a dream, right? We've got disparate data, disparate systems. You buy a company, you find they have very different data sets, and you have to have a way to pull together all those spend analytics so that they're normalized, so they make sense, so that you can consume that data in a way that enables you to deliver value to your company. So really, it's a matter of trying to get intelligent spend data.
Absolutely. And I think when spend analysis is unlocked with artificial intelligence, you know, business can really understand the total cost of doing business with a supplier, which is absolutely critical. And my biggest takeaway from all of this is, what's the cost of not implementing new technology?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we better get to work. That is for sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.
Kathy. Thank you.